What a beautiful day to be alive. Welcome back to Effective Living. It's a conversation with Coach Ricardo Miller and my special guest. This is my brother from the islands. Yes, yes, yes. He is none other than Bishop Mark Mclean. Bishop, welcome back to Effective Living, sir.
Thank you and good morning. And thank you for
Ma-
having me.
Man, it is a delight to have you. It's a joy to have you. A lot of incredible things happening in your life. What's going on in Jamaica? How's your wife and your beautiful son, and how's everything going?
They are doing well. They're doing well, and the sun is growing up so fast.
Yes,
So
yes,
I have to be making sure that I capture the
yes,
early days
yes.
so that I don't miss out on anything.
Ain't that the
But,
truth?
but
Ain't
they're
that
doing well.
they do grow up so fast.
So fast.
Ladies and gentlemen, this morning I wanted to do a series of talks with a number of men, fathers to be more exact, about really what we're all about to celebrate at the highest level on tomorrow. And so, tomorrow being Father's Day, I wanted to give some time to Father's Day. I'm a big believer, in Mother's Day. I'm a big believer in Father's Day. Well, I'm a big believer in living life to the fullest. One of the things we teach here on Effective Living is we can create a life we don't need a vacation from. And so, oftentimes, for men, fathers, they find themselves, uh, maybe challenged. Life throws them curveballs and difficulties and bumps in the road, and they often wonder, "Am I going to be able to make it?" Well, we're going to highlight some of the joys and delights and wisdom for men, and more specifically fathers. Bishop, when we think about Father's Day and you think about this being an annual thing, I know from the church's perspective, I know you're a New Testament bishop. I know you guys there. I love the New Testament church in Jamaica, a strong, vibrant body of believers. Father's Day is significant, as a number of all, Mother's Day and all of the stuff. But what comes to mind when you think about Father's Day?
When I think of Father's Day, the first thought that comes to my mind
Yeah,
is a day that should be highly celebrated,
yeah,
even though it's under celebrated. But when it comes on, as you rightfully said, when it comes on to the church
yeah,
and the New Testament church, we make sure that the same emphasis that
yes,
is placed on Mother's Day,
yeah.
it is placed on Father's Day, because I personally believe that both Father's Day and Mother's Day deserve to be celebrated equally.
Yeah. When you say equally, because some people would wonder, is Father's Day important? I mean, equally, Mother's Day has a feel, and we're going to talk about this a little bit more later. That's just unique. Father's Day, is it important? I mean, if someone's watching us right now, we're talking Father's Day. Tomorrow is Father's Day. And is it important? Is it important? Put a comment in the comment section and share your thoughts with us. Why is it important? Bishop, why is it important? Why should we keep it on the calendar, the church's calendar? I mean, a lot of churches are going to have men choirs singing tomorrow. On Mother's Day, we give the women roses. Oh my goodness. What do we do for men? What do we do for men? Do we do jerk chicken? Praise God. Uh, what do we do? And so let's go back to the question, Father's Day. Is it important? And why, if it is?
No, I strongly believe that Father's Day is very important, and there are a number of us as fathers.
Yeah.
For most of this week, we have been protesting because we have not seen a lot of stuff buzzing about Father's Day
Right,
like
right.
we would have seen for Mother's Day.
Correct.
But we believe that it is important, Ricardo, because without a father, a mother would not be called a mother.
Come on. That's,
So
that's good.
I believe Father's Day is important, and we agree that some fathers may not have played their role well,
Yeah.
but we also have fathers who have done well and deserve to be celebrated. And a matter of fact, when it comes on to Father's Day in my congregation,
Uh-huh.
no father is allowed to do anything.
Mm.
They just come to church and
Yeah.
sit down.
Talk to us about that.
So the young people, the children, and the women pamper the fathers for Father's Day in church.
Ooh, come on. So you crank it up to the next level.
Yeah, because I strongly believe that Father's Day is important and fathers must be appreciated just like the mothers. So even for tomorrow, if you come to church, you will not find a male usher who is a father working.
Yeah. Yeah.
They are told to take that day off. They just need to be at church,
Yes. Yes.
right? Because I strongly believe, and I think I will have to join with some other persons and raise up a movement to make sure that Father's Day get more emphasis.
Let me ask you this: with you saying Father's Day getting more emphasis, Bishop, and I love the fact that you have made a commitment. Hey, listen, we're going to have a standard, and you mentioned the unique word protesting because Mother's Day. I'm from the Bahamas, and if you're from the islands, if you're from Jamaica, put a comment in the comment section. Bahamas, if you're in the United States, Canada, wherever you are, put a comment in the comment section. Let us know, how is it different? Mother's Day versus Father's Day. Mother's Day versus Bishop. I can recall having worked in the mall in the Bahamas back in the day, and on Mother's Day, the night before Mother's Day, the stores are open late. I mean, the lines are everywhere. People on the corners selling stuff because it's Mother's Day. I mean, the salons are full, the restaurants are full. I mean, the stores are, every little pickaninny, heard that word in a while. Hey, everybody's trying to buy something for
Something
their
from mother,
mother.
yeah.
But when it comes to Father's Day, why do you think Father's Day does not get the recognition as Mother's Day? Why do you think that is? What do you think feeds that?
I think one of the main reasons behind that is because of the low performance of fathers in their children's life.
Yeah.
And so because of that, you have a less amount of persons, looking forward to Father's Day.
Yeah.
And I would have heard persons even make the mistake of, when it's Father's Day, they put up their mother's picture to say, my
Oh,
mother who fathered me.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
is just not possible.
Right.
Your mother can only mother you.
Come on.
Your mother can't father you,
Yeah.
because there are some God-given responsibility and instinct that is given to a father that was not given to the mother.
Yeah.
So a mother might play and go the extra mile for a child, but that doesn't mean that the mother father the child. And so I think one of the reasons for that, as I said, is the low performance of some fathers in their children's life. And I also believe, Pastor Ricardo, that the media houses and the commercial hubs have a great influence on what society gives attention to.
Yes.
And
That's
you'll
true.
recognize that when it comes down to the media outlets and the stores, you don't see anything much
Right.
going on for Father's Day.
Yeah.
And so that also helped to influence, because when you, as you rightfully say, when we are getting close to Mother's Day and you go by a store, you can know that Mother's Day is close by. But for Father's Day, if you're not careful, you forget
Yeah. Yeah.
the date because there's nothing buzzing about it. So as I said, one, it's the low performance of fathers in their children's life. And I think also the commercial and the media houses, they have contributed to influencing persons when it comes on to Father's Day.
That is the true, Bishop. Marketing does work. Advertising does work. And for those who are in charge of marketing agencies and so forth, hey man, come on. All right. Don't push the men aside that are fathers. I think you're right, Bishop. It is super important that we give a whole nother level of attention. Now, I grew up in a single parent home. I grew up in a home where I did not get to know my father, but I became aware of very influential men who came alongside and helped me to become who I am today. I often ask men, who is the most influential male in your life? Because even if you didn't have a father, biological father in the house, you could have still had a very strong, influential male who could have been like that of a father. Bishop, when you look back over your life, when you look back over having been raised and educated and grew up now to a place where you're an influential voice in God's house, city, and a nation, when you think about the influential man or men that has been in your life, who comes to mind?
The first person who comes to mind is my eldest brother, my mother's first child.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he was not living under the same roof, but whenever he shows up,
Yep.
in the back of your mind as a child, help has come.
Yeah.
Because he would help my mother to take care of us because he's the eldest one.
Mm-hmm.
And then looking at his life, he was so accomplished and successful, working in a good job, married with 2 kids, so I always look at him and say, I want to be that type of a man.
Yeah.
And then my pastor at church.
Yeah.
So because ever since a child, I had a love for church.
Okay.
And so I would always look at past, and if you're not careful, if I observe that pastor only wear black pants,
Yep.
I just want to wear black pants because that's what I see pastor in.
Yep.
My father, and may God rest his soul. I think he made some bad decisions in life.
Yeah.
And in the latter part of his life, he tried to correct it.
Okay.
But I think he was a bit too late.
Okay.
Because for a man to have some 40 children,
How many children? How many children, Bishop?
40, well, he told us 42. But when he died and we were trying to count, we got up to 38.
Wow.
We counted up to 38. And I mean, it was of such, Pastor Ricardo, where I have another brother by the same name, Mark.
Yeah.
So I guess he ran out of names, right? So I always look at his life, even though he was a businessman and well accomplished when it comes on to the financial part of life. I always look at his life and say, I don't want my life to be anything like his.
Wow.
So to answer that question, I think my eldest brother, Patrick Gillins, would have been that person who I would look at and say, based on how he's accomplished, how he lived, I would want to be like him.
A lot of times when you think about manhood, when you think about fatherhood, you think about examples, because I heard you hear a number of things. One, you looked at your brother and you saw a model of a man that inspired you. When you look at your pastor, you saw a model of a man that's inspired you. When you look at your dad, you said there were a number of areas he had done well in. However, you chose to say, hey, I don't think the decisions he made were the best decision. I'm not going to go that route. And so manhood, fatherhood is always influencing the next generation. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I totally agree. Can either influence a next generation positively or
Yeah.
negatively.
Yeah.
There is a clause, and I want to encourage persons to read a book that is out there.
Okay.
Um, and Pastor Ricardo, maybe you can search for that book.
Yes.
The name of the book is Parenting with Purpose.
Come on.
Parenting with Purpose, written by Ricardo Miller Sr. And there's a clause in it
Yeah.
that says if you go to a football game, and I'm just paraphrasing it,
Yep.
if you
Yep.
go to a football game and you see a child on the field motivated, in the grandstand, there is a parent or a father there that is also motivated.
Yeah. Yeah.
So whatever parents, or we're talking about fathers, whatever
Yes.
they put out to their children,
Yeah.
that's what will influence the next generation.
Wow. Wow. Bishop, I'm going to come to Jamaica and we're going to do a book signing for that book. Hey, that book, Parenting with a Purpose. Hello. Hey.
Right here.
Yes. We're gonna do a book signing, and we're gonna bless all of our beautiful Jamaican parents with that book. Let's talk about this. When we think about Father's Day, as a man, what do you think has been some of the most greatest challenges fathers face? I mean, your dad had some experiences, your brother had some experiences, you've had some experiences, your pastor would have had some experiences. We all have had experiences. When you look back over your life and you say, boy, here are some of the challenges that I see facing men or fathers today. What comes to mind?
Two things, Pastor Ricardo. One, I think most men or fathers have
Mm-hmm.
failed in
Okay.
showing affection to their children,
Wow. Yeah.
especially to their boys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some men, some boys will tell you they have never heard their father said, "I love you."
Yeah. Yeah.
And because we have allowed society to dictate how another male relates to another male, and so some fathers have this macho thing that they'll never say to their son, "I love you."
Yeah.
And you'll find sons complaining about that they have never heard that. And fathers will believe that, oh, because I provide a roof over your head and food
Yeah.
for you to eat, then you should know that I love you.
Mm.
But there come a time where your children need to hear you say that, and not just say it in this way where some fathers say, "You know that I love you."
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it should not be that "you know that I love you." It should be "I love you." So I believe that is one of the greatest challenge for some fathers, to be affectionate to their own children.
Wow.
And another challenge, Pastor Ricardo, that I observe also with fathers is the failure to adjust with their children.
Mm.
And what do I mean by failure to adjust? The children keep growing,
Yeah.
but some fathers remain at the baby stage.
Yes. Yes.
So they don't understand that as the child grow, they need to adjust
Yeah.
with their age group. And
Yeah.
so children at the age of 16 are treated as though they are just 6 years old.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I
Yeah.
think some fathers need help in that area to know how to adjust at what level the child is on and how you relate to the child. You can't deal with a 16-year-old as you would have dealt with a 6-year-old. And
Yeah.
I think those two challenges, our fathers face them all over.
I think, Bishop, you said it so correctly. I mean, I've been saying for a while, a growing child needs a growing parent, and you hit the nail
Yes.
right on the head. And so, if you're watching us today, fathers, a growing child needs a growing father. And so it's very important that as your child is growing, you are growing as well. Bishop, let's talk about
Yes.
3 things you wish someone had told you you're a father. I mean, as a man, what are some things when you look back and you say, boy, I wish someone had told me? What comes to mind as we get ready to bring our talk to a close?
Three things, Ricardo. One, I wish you would have told me that I would have lost some sleeps. When it comes down to the change of the sleeping routine,
Yep.
that was
Yep.
messed up and it is still messed up.
Yeah.
Right? I wish somebody had told me that. Another thing, I wish somebody would have advised me about is that your child influences most decision you make.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
Because I am learning now, as young as my son is, most time when I'm about to make a decision for anything at all, he's always in the equation.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
How is it going to affect him?
Yeah.
Is he going to benefit from it?
Yeah.
If I have to go somewhere,
Yeah.
can he come?
Mm.
Or will I have to now find someone to leave him with? Is it a function that it's okay to take a little child to?
Yes. Yes.
So I recognize that indirectly,
Yes.
a child influences most of the decision you make.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this one, the third one, Pastor Ricardo, that I wish to God someone had warned me about it, is that when you become a father,
Yeah.
you become an accountant.
Yeah.
Pastor Ricardo, I am one of the biggest accountants you can ever find. No.
Right.
Because before now, I could just spend as though I want to spend.
Yes.
But now, while I spend, I have to be budgeting and
Yes.
saying, okay, I have to make sure that all that this child is in need of for this week or for this
Yeah.
month, money is
Yeah.
there to take care of it. And just in case there is an emergency, money must be there for that. So
Yeah.
I have become an accountant.
Wow. Wow.
So I wish someone had warned me about that. But guess what?
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the journey, learning to do these things.
Oh man, I love it. I hear a responsible man speak to an audience, helping us to wish. I wish someone had told me. If you're a father and you're watching us this morning, go ahead and put a comment in the comment section. Something you wish someone had told you. Bishop, I want to just go back before we give you our last question and just to talk lightly about that whole element of emotional connection. You mentioned a lot of times guys say, that's my son, he knows I love him. That's my children, they know I love them. And guys, we got to take that limited belief off and really connect heart to heart with our children, heart to heart with our wives. And I think in the islands, more specifically, Bishop, I know in Jamaica, in the Bahamas, Barbados, Trinidad, a lot of guys have that macho persona that actually supposed to come off the bad boy, walled, blocked off imagery often comes across like it's the stronger man. So I don't smile and I talk hard, I talk down to you, and I get angry real fast, and there is no connection from an emotional state. And so men, we can fix that, and let's start doing that by fixing it with our children and our grandchildren and our nieces and nephews, and just help our sons to realize a lot of women are asking for a higher level of emotional engagement from their husbands, but it's hard for a man to give what he never got.
Yeah, yes, and that's so true.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Bishop, in closing, talk to our viewing audience, give some encouraging word to fathers today. Tomorrow is Father's Day. I know you got a word. You're a preacher. Listen, I was in Jamaica. Bishop had me come in. I'm a teacher, more like I'm taking my time and I'm preaching on one night. I'm preaching, but I'm doing it just nice and calm. And then Bishop was supposed to preach the next night, and Bishop was running across the pews. I was like, my God. You caused me to go to the next level the next night. I said, okay, when you go to Jamaica, you can't go to Jamaica preaching soft. You got to go to Jamaica and bring the word with power.
Oh, yeah.
I know you're going to preach tomorrow, but right now, give our viewing audience some encouraging thoughts to fathers.
Yes, I'm ready for that. Now, there may be 3 or 4 things
Yeah.
I want to say to our fathers out there and our men. One, and is important, and I'm happy, Pastor, that I can share this today,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
as a father, I am not permitted to preach tomorrow at church.
See, I got you.
So I can do it now.
Yeah.
I want to encourage fathers.
Yeah.
Spend time with your child or children.
Yeah.
Our father spends his time revealed to his child what is important to him.
Yeah.
Kids grow up, Pastor Ricardo, quickly. And I said this earlier. And the time to bond with them is now. And there are plenty of fun ways where we can just bond with our children. So we need to spend time with them. And I keep saying this. I used to say it before, but now that I'm a dad,
Yeah.
my child's time is always there.
Yeah.
It's not just about work or church.
Yeah.
That time with that boy must be available.
Yeah.
It must be made available. So spend time with your child.
Yeah.
Another thing fathers must also remember is they must discipline their children with love and positive parenting.
Yeah.
All children need positive guidance and discipline, not as punishment, but to set reasonable limits. Fathers should remind children of the consequences of their actions.
Yeah.
And acknowledge desirable behavior. Fathers who discipline in a calm and fair manner show their love for their children.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to leave with fathers out there: earn the right to be heard. And we cannot overemphasize this. Earn the right to be heard. Fathers should begin conversation with their children about important topics when they are very young, so that when they get older, it is not difficult for them to open up and talk about just anything with you as a father. And I say to a father out there that maybe have started out on the wrong footing, you can still adjust. Your children or your child might be grown now, but nothing is wrong for you as a father to even apologize to your child or your children for what you did not do, and make it right now, and be the father that God wants you to be. God wants us to be the kind of father that which we have received from God our Father, we can pass it on to another generation. And if that happens, where I pass it on to another generation and the next generation pass it on to the next generation, that's biblical parenting. One generation should be able to teach another generation. Thank you very much for having me. And it is always a joy and a privilege to connect with you, Ricardo. And again, remember, Jamaica is open to you.
I love you, Bishop. Listen, this was
Love
incredible. This was incredible. Such good wisdom. Hey, guys, share and invite someone to watch these phenomenal remarks from Bishop Mark Mclean out of Jamaica. Bishop, love and appreciate you. Happy Father's Day, sir.
Thank you, sir, and same to you.
Yes.